everybody? I'm Tommy, and you are on the boat. What's happening, people? So, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail. If it confused the heck out of you, I don't blame you. But this is more for the crew of the lifeboat than probably some of the new people. But I did a show last night where I railed about the big red button for about 48 minutes or something like that. I got kind of angry at YouTube as a platform, and I did a show called "The Hypocrisy of YouTube," and well, I ranted. It was a Saturday night rant. I hadn't done a good rant in a while. And a funny thing happened. The video is back up. And I'll tell you why that's funny. It's funny because I didn't contest it. Quite simply put, because I didn't know how to, right? The instructions said, click on the video to contest. You can't click on a video that's already been removed. I don't upload videos. I go live. I come on here. I talk to you guys. You dig the rant? Well, thank you, Audra in Denver. And hello to everybody here. I'm going to roll into this because I got another show I'm doing at the top of the hour, and I still got a little bit more homework that I'm doing on that. That will be about the Nick and the Nick Reiner and the updates on what's going on in the Nick Reiner case, because it is starting to heat up. There's also an awful lot of stuff that's being reported that I think we need to pump the brakes on a little bit, but I will talk to you about all of that at the top of the hour. This is just an opportunity because here's the only thing that makes sense to me. When they went over the video that I did last night looking for a reason to demonetize it, maybe they heard what I was saying, because two really unusual things happen with this. Number one, when you have a video that gets demonetized, by the way, my video is demonetized. I'm not making $1 on it. However, at least it's up. When you get a video that's been demonetized, you get a little thing that says, hey, your video's been demonetized. If you click on that, you can then scroll down and say, hey, I want an appeal done on this. I don't think I did anything wrong. And they'll ask you to check through this checklist. You didn't say this, you didn't say this, or you didn't do any of these things. And you can hit that, yes, indeed, I didn't violate any of the community guidelines. I didn't have the opportunity to do that on a video that had been removed because there is no little button to click on. There's no video. It's gone. I didn't get, all of a sudden it was just not there. And I was looking at it going, what the hell? But I had gotten an email from him that said that the video had been removed because of doxing and cyberbullying. I was doxing and cyberbullying myself. So the rant that I did last night was about how I find it humorous that people can go after me, right? Joanne Marie, good to see you. Glad that you caught alive. They can go after me and dox me, but I can't make a video where I show things about myself for the purpose of defending me. And I went off about it. Maybe YouTube listened to that because I did not appeal the video being removed. But if you do appeal something, you get an email from YouTube, usually about 12 to 30 hours later, depending on how busy they are or whatever. It's all automated. There's no humans, but you get a response that says, hey, we looked that over and you're screwed. We're not giving you back any money. Or they say, we looked that over and you're right. Like the one that I did on weed. I told you guys yesterday, there's an 80% chance I'm going to get remonetized because I wasn't doing anything wrong. And it was remonetized. I got the money back on that. I did not get an email that said, yeah, we are harder on ourselves than anybody else. Montgomery Angel. I didn't get an email that said, hey, we put your content back up, which is odd. But then again, I also did not appeal it. So maybe they watched last night's video and they heard me going off on why I think this platform sucks. If you missed that video, I'm not taking it down in spite of the fact that they put my video back up. Because I will stand by everything I said. The fact that they let that video go back up is a beautiful thing, especially without me asking. Really odd too. I don't have any way of explaining that. Even when I asked AI about it, they said, no, there's an appeal process that you have to go through. And then they kind of explained how I could do it. I had to send an email to a certain, but I didn't do any of that. And the video is back up. So maybe they were listening last night. So just in case, hey, big thanks to the big red button for putting back up a video where I didn't dox anybody or put out any information on anybody other than myself. And all I did was flash a passport. And the passport was redacted. The only thing that I allowed to go up was my name, my date of birth. That was it. All of my other essential details had been removed from it. And the reason that I did that is because I've been doxxed so many times about my name and my and my birth date and all that. I don't feel too concerned about it, right? And if you want to do a little identity theft, I think it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult because of where I live these days. I'm a little less likely to have that actually get pulled off. If somebody starts spending $1 on a credit card of mine that isn't in this country, I would imagine that would be flagged fairly quickly. But that was me spiking a football. I'm pretty damn happy that I had the ability to defend myself. I want that video to stay up. I want it to stay up forever. And I'm pleased that YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, see that? See what I did there? In their infinite wisdom, the people at the big red button apparently took a look at that of their own accord and decided that, yes, indeedy, the only person that I might have been doxing is myself. And by the way, you cannot dox yourself. They do have community guidelines against that. But that would require me putting up my social security number, my passport number. There's a whole list of things that you can't do. They don't want you to put your address up there for obvious reasons, which is funny, right? Because it's just a public square. They wouldn't be in any trouble if somebody came over and whacked me, right? There's a law protecting them. So, but they do have guidelines, more guidelines that try to govern this kind of a thing. So I just wanted to come on and tell people because, here's YouTube for you. And I'm not picking on anybody in particular, but you'll get comments that say, hey, I can't find the video you're talking about. Well, if you watched the video I did, the whole video was about me being, having that video removed. So obviously you couldn't go find it, but it's back now. You rented clean shaven. I love it. How heavy was that, huh? Is that not a rowdy film? For those who don't know what Ms. Hansen is talking about, I did a show earlier on Peter Green, and the actor that you probably remember from The Mask, you may remember from Pulp Fiction. He died about 4 days ago, or was found 4 days ago. Probably would have died a little bit longer than that, but was found in his apartment with a lot of injuries to his face. He was face down, and there was a little letter that had been left next to him, which was cryptic as hell, made reference to a gang called the Westies and how he was still a part of it. Yeah, heavy, great acting. It really is. You are the second person, too, to reach out and say that. You do get into more trouble telling the truth. That's actually really intelligent. We do get into more trouble these days telling the truth. You know what, though? I stopped caring about getting in trouble. I will say this. From this day forward, and you can look at whatever the date is, right? I believe it is the 21st of December, if I'm not mistaken, right? Somebody can correct me on that. I live in a foreign country. We live on manana time. I don't know what day of the week it is or anything else usually. But unless it's Sunday, I go to church on Sunday. But I am of the firm belief that I'm done. I'm done talking about the past. I'm done visiting the past. I'm getting back to the business of having fun on YouTube. There's a lot going on in true crime. I find it fascinating to chase these things down, find out what's being told, whether it's true or not. By the way, shout out to Hot Mike with Billy Bush for coming on the air and making a video, and not only a short, where he said, hey, I was the one that broke the story about the mother dying in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. There was no truth to that. A lot of people ran with it. Megyn Kelly ran with it. A lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of people come forward and take responsibility and say, hey, I screwed that one up. These are really fluid situations where everybody wants as much detail as they can possibly get. Like I was talking about before, we feel like these are part of our family. As weird as that might sound, we grew up with Rob Reiner in his films, in the TV shows that he was a part of. We absolutely feel a connection to this family in a way that is, of course it's parasocial, but he's part of the fabric of America. With films like When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, right? You can't handle the truth. There are parts of what he has put out that are a part of everyday life. If you drop one of those lines, or if you say, I'll have what she's having. By the way, that scene where she's faking an orgasm in the restaurant, the woman that says, I'll have what she's having, was actually Rob Reiner's mom. Kind of a fun little side note. But all of these things, The Princess Bride, every time we bring this up, people start putting movie quotes. So there's a connection to us and him in a very large way. And for that reason, everybody wants as much info as they can get. The problem with that is that, very much like the Diddy case or any of the other ones that really become part of the focus of an entire nation, or in this case, probably an entire world, where we want information in real time, and you're not going to get it. And conspiracy theorists will immediately start saying, the reason we're not getting this info, the reason that you're not getting this info is because the defense attorney in this is probably the best defense attorney in the United States of America, trial attorney. If not, he's certainly in the running. Hey, Kevin Hawthorne. So this is one of those situations where they're going to hurt themselves if they allow information out right? Where they give an opportunity for the defense to start getting their ducks in a row prior to showtime, so to speak. There's a whole process of when you have to turn over everything you got. It's called discovery. Same thing with the shooting of Charlie Kirk. The number of videos out there of people that say, yeah, they're not giving any more information out. They gave out a bunch in the beginning because they were looking for the guy that did it, right? They very often will show images of people so that they can say, hey, if you know who this is, and they have tip lines and they have and thousands of phone calls come in and say, it could be this person. Once they know who the person is, it shifts from, we're looking for a fugitive from justice, right? For a murder, somebody that committed murder, a suspect. It goes from that to, we're going to prosecute this person. Now they're going to do everything they can to keep those cards as close as they can to the chest. But because very few people understand the legal system, even a shred, then there's a bunch of misinformation that gets put out. And it gets put out at a fast rate. Some of that misinformation is like what happened to Billy Bush. He had a source that told him that the daughter found the mother alive, right? That source was wrong. Then there are the people that just put out BS because it sells. So we're all going to make mistakes. But to see somebody, like Billy Bush come out and say, hey, I made a mistake. My source was wrong. I apologize. And of course, there's always, you hedge it a little bit by saying, hey, the info's coming out really quick. I do the best I can. I'm not going to be putting stuff out every day unless I can verify the stuff that's coming out, or at least feel good enough to report it. Because a lot of the stuff that is being reported now every single day, I think we probably need to take with a grain of salt. And I'll tell you why at the top of the hour. But if you're just getting here, the video that I did the other day where I sort of showed my passport to the world to prove a point, that video is back up. And I complained about it last night. Maybe YouTube was listening because I did not appeal it. Couldn't figure out how to, just to be really honest with you. It's really easy if they demonetize you. You get a little green $sign. If that $sign turns yellow, right? This is in your studio app where you can go and see what you're making and how many views you got. If you see a video and it says 1,000 views, especially if it just happened, it's not 1,000 views. You're looking at that in the back office. It'll usually be 400 or 500 views ahead of that. So if you're going to check on what you're doing, you'll see that little yellow $sign. And if you go, I didn't say anything in that video to violate, you click on that. And the appeal process is done just with your mouse. I didn't have that opportunity. There was nothing to click on. All I got was an email that said, sorry, we took it down. I didn't appeal it, but it's back. From everyone I've talked to who are content creators, it's unheard of. So maybe they really are listening, right? Maybe they heard me crap on them last night for 48 minutes of rant. I'm leaving the rant video up too. I think I said a lot of stuff in there that's worth listening to. If you didn't catch that video, I'm kind of proud of it. If you want to know the truth, there's a lot of pretty good information in there about why we need some changes, right? We need some serious changes in terms of social media. Not sure I dig that term, but I guess it is what it is, right? There are a lot of people that come to people like me to hear the news, or to at least hear a rendition of the news. So social media may be the best term, but some changes need to be made because there's no accountability whatsoever. I can come on here right now and say, hey, Nick Reiner actually shot his parents. There's two gunshot wounds in each head. I'm not going to get in any trouble for BS in that. I can put it in the thumbnail, get a bunch of people to come and look at it. I'll still get paid. It's misinformation. And here's the thing. Does it damage your credibility? Maybe. But you know how many people watch that video, walk away and go, yeah, I don't know who the hell that guy was, but he was wrong. They'll come back and watch you a month later and forget that you were the one that said the stupid thing the last time. That's kind of the way this works, right? It's just a rumor mill on steroids, right? So we're going to try to avoid that on the Lifeboat. I appreciate you guys coming on. This isn't going to be a long video because I don't want to get into a rant against YouTube as of right now. They actually did something that feels just a pinch like justice, and they're not known for that. So I'm pretty happy that video is back up. I did not do anything wrong in that video. In fact, I consulted a freaking lawyer before I did that video. But it's nice to be able to defend yourself. I'm not going to make a habit of it. In fact, I'm never bringing it up again. I'm done with this, right? If that's not good enough for you, that video will be there. If that's not good enough for you, you know where the exit is. But I will be back at the top of the hour. Do a little more research. Just want to make sure that I got a couple of other things chased down. I do think it's probably worth making sure that I don't screw anything up. So between now and then, try to get some dinner. Get yourself a nice drink, maybe a cup of coffee, something cold. And I will see you at the top of the hour, and we will talk about the Nick Reiner case. There are developments. I'm not just killing time. All right, people, I'm Tommy. Thank you for sticking by me. You have no idea what it means to me. And you know what? This shit's officially put to bed. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great time. I love you.